So hello everyone. Today we will be discussing few of the important articles or the topics that were found in your Hindu newspaper on 20th May. Okay. So the first one is with respect to center raises subsidy on DAP fertilizers. So center has raised a subsidy of DAP fertilizers. DAP is nothing but diammonium phosphate. Okay. So DAP fertilizers, you see, they require phosphoric acid and ammonia in their production. So phosphoric acid and ammonia are required, are the inputs for the production of DAP fertilizer. Okay. But what has happened? Recently, prices of phosphoric acid and ammonia have gone up by 60 to 70%. So internationally, there is a rise in the price of phosphoric acid and ammonia. So the moment the cost of inputs goes up, obviously the output also, the cost of output also goes up. So cost of DAP fertilizers also goes up. So that's what happened. So now the cost of DAP per bag is around 2,400 rupees. Okay. So what was the case was what means prior to this price rise, center was giving around 500 rupees as a subsidy per bag. So per bag of DAP, whatever irrespective of the cost, so center was giving around 500 rupees per bag as a subsidy. But now the price has gone up, so it is actually costing around 2,400 rupees. So if center gives just 500 rupees, so what will be the price? So farmer has to pay around 1,900 rupees per bag. But as of now, the what farmer is paying 1,200 rupees per bag. So this is prior to the rise in prices. Okay. So what center has done at now is they have retained the selling price of DAP at 1,200 rupees only. 1,200 rupees per bag only. Okay. So how come? Because earlier they were giving just 500 rupees per bag as a subsidy. For that they have added another 700 rupees. So now the subsidy amount per bag is 1,200 rupees per bag. So government has increased the subsidy per bag for DAP. So that's what it is said. Subsidy on DAP fertilizer is hiked by 140%. So they increased the subsidy from rupees 500 to rupees 1,200 per bag. That is rise of 700 rupees. So what this leads to? This leads to already we have India has annual fertilizer subsidy around 80,000 crore rupees. So now another 14,000 crore has been added to this subsidy bill. So it is important. You should remember, because see, every year budget is presented and almost there will be divisions whenever you read like revenue account, capital account, in the sense revenue receipts, revenue expenditure, receipts, capital expenditure. So revenue receipts, recurring receipts, tax and non-tax, and capital receipts are loans and advances that the government receives, and disinvestment proceeds also. This is revenue receipts. So on in the section of revenue expenditure, you have those expenditure which do not lead to creation of assets, So subsidy is part of revenue expenditure. You should remember that. Okay, so that is important point. You should remember. There are other things also in revenue expenditure side, but remember, and usually this is also highlighted whenever budget is presented, all those things. Okay, so we have an MCQ based on that. So what the MCQ reads is like, revenue expenditure is that part of government expenditure that does not result in the creation of assets. So this is the right statement. So, and subsidies are a part of revenue expenditure. This is also right statement. So apart from that, you also have interest payments, public administration, defense. These are all part of revenue expenditure which do not lead to creation of assets. Remember the points. Okay. So chalo, let's go to the next. So a small one topic was like a DD International to present India's story. So Doordarshan, DD is nothing but Doordarshan. This is funded by Government of India and is autonomous body under Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Okay, so what they are planning is they're planning to set up DD International to project India's point of view to the world. See, whenever the issues happen, everybody has their point of view. Like whole nation also has a point of view. So if something happens, suppose for example, uh, some crisis is happening or COVID is happening, so whole nation will be commenting. Different nations will be having their own point of view. So people always have a point of view whenever there is a issue happening. Okay, so nation will also have a point of view. So the point of view of India will be broadcasted internationally through DD International channel. So that is a point of, that is why it is in news. So the idea is to build a global presence of Doordarshan and to establish international voice for India. So what is the India's view on the contemporary issues of both global and domestic significance? So obviously global issues, environmental issues, terrorist issues. So the currently COVID is a global issue, health issues. So India's point of will be presented to international world through DD International when it is set up. Got the point? Okay, so let's go to the next one. So there was a comment made by UN chief who said around estimated number of 4,000 to 6,000 refugees from Myanmar have sought safety in UN. Okay, and so this is heading. So like it has been since 100 days where Myanmar military has taken over the established government. So coup, the term is coup is nothing but uh, seizing the power from the government. Okay, and you should remember Myanmar was from 1960s to almost 2011. It was under military rule. Since then, a democratic reforms have started to begin and democratic for government has formed. But this year again, Myanmar military has came back, has taken control of the power in the nation. So it has been 100 days, and what has happened is there are n number of civilian killings, numerous arbitrary arrests, and there are human right violations. So according to the UNHCR, it is said that around 6,000 people are being, women, children, men, all have been internally displaced within the nation. So why this becomes important? Because you see, like any internal issue within a nation will also affect a neighboring nation. So movement people are getting internally displaced for the safety of life. It is obvious that people run for their life. So it is likely that these people are likely to flee into the neighboring nations. So all these issues come up, issues of refugees come up. So that way you should remember, and that already India shares a border with Myanmar around 1600 kilometer long, and these states border Myanmar, like Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, and Mizoram, that's your international boundary with the Myanmar. So India should keep track of all these issues that is happening in the surrounding nations. And you also know that Myanmar is already it is in news with respect to Rohingya Muslims. So who are these Rohingya Muslims? See, actually, Myanmar is a major religion in Myanmar is a Buddhism. Okay, and Rohingyas are small ethnic community over there. So they are treated as illegal immigrants and they are denied the citizenship. And in 2017, you see large killing of Rohingya Muslims, and the people started to fleeing the nation, and they entered Bangladesh. So there was a refugee issue in Bangladesh of Rohingya Muslims. And what happened, International Court of Justice has termed, Rohingya Muslims issue as a genocide. So what is genocide? Genocide is nothing but, deliberate and systematic killing of a particular people of identity. So deliberate killing of people of particular ethnic community, deliberate killing of people belonging to particular nation. So systematically people will be killed by not providing them basic necessities by, mass murders and those all things. So that is the term as a genocide. So what international community ICJ has referred, killing of Rohingya Muslims as a genocide act by Myanmar. So that's why it was also in news. So there is one MCQ with respect to the discussion that we had. International Court of Justice has termed killing of Rohingya Muslims as a genocide. So genocide, deliberate and systematic killing of a particular community people. To which country Rohingya Muslims belong? So the answer is Myanmar. Okay, remember. And so the next one is, with respect to Antarctica, Antarctica gives birth to world's largest iceberg. So you know that the Antarctic area is, frozen land. And what happens is, this frozen land, so the ice with it at the edges, it gets gets broken away from the large ice mass. So entire area is covered with the ice. So on the edges, ice, a large part of areas, they get, broken away from the large ice mass. So this is what has happened recently. A giant slab of ice bigger than the particular island has sheared off from the frozen edge of Antarctica into the Weddell Sea. So you see there is a Weddell Sea. So this is what the iceberg they are referring to. It is referred to with the term A76 iceberg. So as of now, this will be a largest floating iceberg currently. So it is said it is surface area around 4,000 square kilometer, 175 kilometer long and 25 kilometer wide. So this is as of now the largest floating iceberg. Okay, so remember that thing, and that's it. And this is actually a natural cycle. So time and again you see different icebergs in the news. But recently what you should remember is, the icebergs which have been, formed, they are, disappearing very fast. So they means moment they are breaking, and after that disappearing, in the sense they are melting. Okay, so that is, scientists have attributed this to climate change. So warmer oceans, that you should remember. Okay, so that's it. Today we had only few articles from exam point of view which were important. So you can also download the PDF of this document in the link that is provided below. Thanks for listening. Have a good day. Thank you.